Hi guys, Elledani here, and today I want to talk about tips for new YouTubers to get started and grow. As you know, I just hit 1,000 subscribers. I have learned a whole lot. I thought it'd be really cool to mark that milestone by sharing what I've learned along the way. Some of this is from personal experience, some of this is from research, and some of this is straight from larger professional influencers that do this on a larger scale. I started my channel mid-November. I hit 1,000, I think it was like the third week of September. It's about 10 months, which is pretty fast in the big picture of things. I have seen girls literally start their channels and hit 1,000 in a month. I've seen some people take literally years to do that. So it's different for everybody. I definitely think the channels that hit really fast are typically very trendy. They make videos that are heavily searched and that are trending in the moment. That is kind of hard. I mean, I personally, from filming to actual posting, for me in particular, it's usually minimum 2 to 3 weeks, if not a little bit more, because I film so much at once and then edit as I can. But if you really want to grow fast, hitting trending topics really will do that for you. The first piece of advice that I can give you is just do it. Start the channel, start filming, try it. It literally took me years to get started. I have wanted to start a YouTube channel for a really long time. There was a lot that held me back, a lot that I was very uncomfortable about. For one thing, I have really never been comfortable on camera like this, especially not just sitting by myself talking into a camera. That was so far outside of my comfort zone. That definitely took some getting used to. I have also honestly always really hated my voice. That was a big reason that I didn't want to be on video. I am truly learning to like it a little bit more. Even before we were together, Ragnar always told me that he liked my voice, but he's obviously biased. I wish I had the self-image of myself that Ragnar has for me. Every girl should have the self-image that the male that loves her sees her as. I'm telling you guys, it is way different. Image is a big thing. Confidence is a big thing. And I will tell you what helped me get comfortable on camera was TikTok. And I know that sounds silly. Being able to do just like really short, fun videos and recording for that made it so much easier. I actually bought a tripod and a light to be able to do YouTube. Just for modeling for so long, I'm huge on lighting. There was no way I was starting a channel without a light. So I did buy a light, but I actually used it for TikTok first because I was just so nervous, didn't know what to do, didn't really know how to present, anything like that. So let me take that back. I know how to present. That's what I do 90% of the time is I present information on exotic animals to educate people. So presentation is fine, but to present into a camera is definitely a little bit different than presenting to people that want to learn. It is definitely different, especially when you are already kind of self-conscious. If you meet me and you talk to me, you definitely wouldn't think I'm a self-conscious person 90% of the time. There are definitely times. Being nervous definitely held me back. The first video is the hardest. You just have to do it. It's like jumping off of a cliff, off of a diving board. Once you do it the first time, it definitely gets easier every single time. And again, this is somebody that has always hated being on camera, hated their voice, didn't want to hear themselves. But I do feel like I have kind of a lot to share and a lot to present. So a lot of that is why I've always wanted a YouTube. It just took me a really, really long time to build up the courage to actually do it. And I know courage, YouTube is very first world. So to say courage, it seems like maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but it really, really does take a lot of courage, a lot of confidence to come out here and put yourself out there on videos. YouTube is, for social media, YouTube has one of the harshest crowds. You see more difficult and harmful and just mean comments on YouTube than you do any other social media platform, other than maybe Reddit. You see a lot of crazy stuff on Reddit. I don't really mess with Reddit at all. It's just really hostile. I feel if I need information and I'm researching and Reddit is the only place, then I'll do that. But other than that, it really is hostile. But YouTube can be really tough. When you're putting yourself out there, you can't let that kind of stuff bother you either. You are making yourself kind of vulnerable. You are presenting yourself, presenting your ideas. It takes confidence and it takes courage. It definitely takes a decent amount of willpower. This isn't easy. The growth isn't easy. You really have to work for it and research and refine yourself every step of the way to really make it work. And I'm not trying to scare you. It really does take work to make a YouTube channel work. Start the channel, find a name, but really think about why you want a channel. What do you want to express? What do you want to show the world? What do you want to share? Do you have hobbies or expertise or anything like that that you think that people would enjoy watching? Vlogging videos are definitely harder to make it with unless you already have a following. People have to want to watch you to watch you do the really mundane day-to-day stuff. So keep that in mind too. I think it's really good to have the vlogging videos on any channel, but at the same time, you want to focus on other things, especially while you're small, to gain that audience that wants to see what you do day to day. Ask yourself why you want to do YouTube. Why do you want to make videos? What kind of videos do you want to make? And most importantly, how will you do this different than the other, I'm going to say thousands, but I'm sure it's more like millions of content creators. How will you do things differently to put your own spin on it, to make people want to come to your channel? I truly think if you dig deep and you think about it, you will definitely find ways to put your own spin on things. For instance, me in particular, I'm an exotic animal educator. I have wanted to do a very small amount of exotic animal videos along with my lifestyle content. So to tie it together, I want to do a cool exotic animal video and then a makeup look to go along with it, which are starting for Vlogtober. So watch out for that. I have 2 different makeup looks that are collabs coming this month. That is also just a way that I can kind of do things a little bit differently. I am not only doing makeup inspired by a certain species, I'm going to bring you the educational end. That is me pulling from my experience, my knowledge, my hobbies to do something different, if that makes sense. So that's what you want to think about. How can you show people how you do things differently? It doesn't have to be limited to fashion style how-to. There's an endless amount of topics that you can do videos on that will help people. If you look hard enough in your topic and in yourself, you will find a way that you do it different than anybody else does. Because YouTube is so saturated, if you don't find a way to do it different, to make it unique, to make yourself appealing, you will have a harder time. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you definitely want to be unique in what you're doing. Most people pick a niche. I'm not going to get too much into that because I personally haven't done that. Typically, you want to pick one area to do videos in, and you want, like, I think something like 80% of your videos to be in that niche. I'm definitely kind of a jack of all trades in life. I have a lot of interests. When I have an interest, I dive really deep into that interest. I learn as much as I can. I get the experience if I can. So to me personally, I did not really want to pick a niche. That's why I did a lifestyle channel. I do a lot of fashion and beauty and product reviews, but I also want to be able to do, a little bit of cooking. I have a lot of food sensitivities that has led me to a specific style of eating that I think can really help people scratch cook. I make ice cream. I make my own mayonnaise even to make dressings and salads and different things like that. So top of style and fashion, I have a lot more to bring to the table. I personally find, which I'll get into this a little bit later, that if you have a little bit more of a broad audience, you may amass subscribers easily, but because not everyone is going to be interested in every single one of your videos, you may have a little bit of a harder time with watch time. It's different for everybody. It can be way faster, way slower. Once you figure out the type of videos you want to make, whether that is a specific niche or if you want to try to branch out and have several different types of videos on your channel, the latter is harder. But if you know what you're talking about and have something to bring to the table, it will work for you, and it works for some people. It just doesn't always work as easily as if you have one specific niche. I love makeup. I love stuff like that. Makeup videos, how I edit them is very intensive. And if I were to do only makeup videos, I would be lucky to actually get a makeup video posted once a week. So for me, niching down is not in my cards. In the future, if it's not working, I will address that then. I find that my growth has been really well. My watch time is pretty good for where I'm at. I'm not too worried about picking a specific niche because this is working for me. And I know it doesn't work for everybody. I'm having fun with it. I make videos I love and I'm passionate about. That is part of what's important. If you're not passionate, if you don't like what you're doing, nobody else is going to like what you're doing. So definitely stick to something you care about, something you want to present, whether that is a hobby or profession. There is a plethora of things you can make a channel about based on things you care about. Passion is really, really important, and it exuberates through your videos. You can tell when somebody is passionate and loves what they're talking about, and you can tell when somebody is making videos because they want to make videos, if that makes sense. Literally, Ragnar and I were laughing because I always talk about being obsessed with fall. I love pumpkins. I love what they look like. I love the aesthetic. I love cooking with pumpkin. I love eating pumpkin. I did a video about the farmer's market, and I talk about pumpkins a lot. I'm so excited. As I'm talking, you can tell it's something I care about. And it's something as stupid as pumpkins. So that's why we were laughing. I joke about how excited I am about pumpkins, how much I love fall and everything like that. But to see it in videos where I'm like peppy and talking about pumpkins, but that's also not a bad thing, and that passion shows through. People are definitely attracted to excitement and passion. If you're excited about what you're talking about, they're more likely to be excited about what you're talking about. Definitely stick to things you really care about. If you don't care about and like the videos you're making, you're not going to want to make them either. It's going to be a drag. It's going to be boring. You want it to be fun for you, and truthfully, it takes a long time and a lot of work to even get monetized on YouTube, and then you don't even make a whole lot at first, especially. So you want to make sure that you are liking what you're doing, because you're really not going to want to do it for the long haul if you don't like it. That covers starting and just jumping off. Just fucking do it. Honestly, just do it. You know, figure it out along the way. That's not a bad thing. You do want a decent plan, which I will also get into. For me personally, if I didn't jump off the deep end and just do it, I would not have a channel right now because I procrastinated for so long. I was nervous. I was a little bit intimidated even with all of it. The editing, the posting, research into making sure my videos would be promoted and seen by YouTube's algorithm, all of it. You really do just have to start if it's something that you deep down really want to do. So I went into a whole lot of detail and ended up with about an hour of raw footage. So instead of just one video on tips for new YouTubers, I decided to break it into 3 parts. Make sure you check out part 2, which you can find right here, and I've got parts 2 and 3 linked down below.